excited. We're super excited because this is our second time being able to run these live 7-day challenges. And the first time was amazing because we already had a chance to see people transform, make changes. We watched a lot of people's bodies improve in the way that they looked and the way they felt. And we knew that after that first 7-day challenge, we were on to something. Like, we were on to something big. And the biggest thing that we're here to do really is we're here to break the stigma or the disbelief that once we get to a certain age, whether it be 40, 45, 50, or anything around, it's just anything that people perceive to be an older age, that's it. There was this old belief where a lot of individuals, even in my own family growing up, that we had this belief that said, when you're at over 35, that's it. You can work out all you want and you're just not going to look so good or wonderful. And we're here to break that belief. So to start off, I'm going to ask Helen to dive into her story, to share with you a little bit about herself and how she got started here into this platform. And then I'm going to share with you how that relates to you and how you can use her information to your advantage. Miss Helen, are you there?
Yes. Welcome, ladies. Wow, some familiar faces. I'm so flattered, I am, and to have you all here. And as some of you already know me, wanted to know why, what was driving me to compete, to transform my body. Wow. Well, the reason I wanted to share this topic today is because some of you might want to start this journey. There will be times along the journey there will be obstacles. So the reason I'm sharing this is because so it help you overcome the obstacles and also give you a better reason to start right away. Well, my story started, it was in 2018, December. I was at home flipping through this magazine where I saw this beautiful, gorgeous 20-something years old lady with a pair of gorgeous boots. Her boots were so beautiful. Have you ever ladies see a piece of diamond in a magazine that you look at and you're like drooling over? You want that diamond? But for me, I wanted that pair of boots. Her boots were so round, so firm, so young, and I was literally drooling. What at this age, 50, what is more important to me? I don't want that piece of diamond. I want that boot. And instantly I said that out loud, and I said, I want that pair of glutes. What would it be like to have that in my body? I said out loud. And someone I care about a lot immediately told me, you can have that glute. She's young. You're old. You're 50. That really hit me so hard. I would have feel so sad. And that's how my journey started. And I become obsessed with just glutes. Women everywhere I see, I wanted to have that in my body, and then I started wanting to find ways, maybe plastic implants or find someone could help me get that young looking body back. And then lucky for me, I started kickboxing where Alan was teaching, and I asked him questions. I was just obsessed about beautiful young body. And I asked him, my butt is so flat. At this age, what can you, I never actually believed that at this age, being Asian, that you can actually change, your glutes, right? And he said, no, I can help you build them. And I say, what are you talking about? I know I can help you, create some muscles. I was surprised. And at that age, having someone tell you that you're old, I'll do anything, right? So I started the journey with Alan. He put me on weight training. I was just obsessed. I There are times that I have to get up early in the morning, didn't want to go, but then I know I wanted to look good. I wanted to have that young looking body back. So because some people in my life didn't believe in me, that I could do, have doubts in me, that have that feeling some people in your family don't believe in you, that you're this aged, that's it. You can accomplish much. So every time I get pain in the gym, I always think about why do you start it, Helen? There are many times in the gym is quite painful, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. But then knowing my purpose, why I started in the first place, that helped me continue. And when I see results, it's even better. And then when I got on stage and seeing my body transform, the feeling of control, the feeling of that amazing feeling, that something I can do, I can change myself, that no matter what people tell you or that what you can do or not do, that feeling was just, I never thought it was possible for me. So that was my story. And then when I started to have these changes in physically, emotionally, mentally, I started to transform. And that's why having that feeling amazing. And I know so many of you ladies probably have the same sort of beliefs, and I wanted to share with you that anything is possible, that you have more potential than you believe you have.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of why we're here, is because when we first realized that making a transformation was possible, not just for the young 20-year-old, teen, 30-year-old, avid gym lover, that's what we see a lot of, right? We see a lot of people that are online and they're always posting about being hardcore and being at the gym and making these changes. Well, sometimes those images, as great as they can be, a lot of times they start to create what I call mental separation, where we can look up to those people and think, wow, they're so amazing, they're so great. But then it makes us wonder, well, is what they're doing possible for me? Is what they're promoting something that who I am at my lifestyle, at my age? Like, I'm 42 years old and I started my transformation 10 years ago. And even 10 years ago, very similar to Helen's situation, I had this massive disbelief. I didn't believe that I could make change. And what we're here to do is not only tell you about our stories, about how we made our changes through our change first in our beliefs and then our actions, but also to give you the tools, they're actual tools, both mindset and physical tools. So whatever you want to do with your body, whatever changes you want to make, whatever transformation you want to improve on, you're never left thinking to yourself, well, is this something I can really do? I mean, how many times have you ever gone to bed at night and thought, well, I would love to look better. I would love to feel younger. I would love to have more energy. Or I'd like, for me, 10 years ago, I looked in the mirror and I said, I would love to feel proud about myself again. Because there was a point in time when I had let myself go so much that I had to look at myself in the mirror and realize, like, I was asking the wrong questions, essentially. I was asking myself, what the hell did I do to myself? Which is the wrong question to ask. But even worse, I was asking myself, can I really make the change? And what I realized from getting coaching and from getting knowledge from other people that have been there and had made the switch, what I'd realized is that nothing ever changes. Like, we could have the best tools, we could have the best gym, we could have the best trainer, the best nutrition, the best everything. But unless something switches in here, I mean, you know just as well as we do, unless we believe it, will we really try it? Unless we believe that there's even a chance for us to really make that shift, are we really going to give ourselves our best chance? Or are we going to do like what I used to do years ago, which is, I'll try it for a couple of times. I'll go to the gym. Oh, I'm really sore. Or I'll work out at home. And I'm really tired now. And then I'll quit. And then I'll look at myself and be like, see, it doesn't work. But it's not that it didn't work. It's the fact that I didn't have the mindset yet to make the committed switch, which actually isn't that hard. One of my old coaches used to say, whether you think you can or you think you cannot, the amount of energy that's required to make that decision is relatively the same. It's the same amount of effort and energy. It's the output. So he said, if you know that you're putting out a lot of energy to say, Alan, say that you can't do this, why not give yourself the chance to say that you can? And I'm not going to lie to you, okay? It took me a little while for me to absorb that concept. But once that kicked in, everything in my physical body had changed. And I want to share that with you guys as well, to you ladies and some of the gentlemen that might be on here, because it's your first time seeing us. It's your first time hearing about us, most likely. If you were here in the 1.0 series, then we're not new, but most of you are new. And we want you to know that aside us putting this call together, we want you to know that at some way, some form, we're just like you. There was a point in our lives where we looked like Helen and I looked at ourselves and said, I'm done. Like I don't have a chance in hell to make my body better. I've forgotten what it feels like to be strong, to feel healthy, to feel alive, to have energy, to be, 10 o'clock at night after running around with my nephew and niece and working my 8 hours and still having that vibrancy to enjoy my life, because it takes energy to enjoy our lives, right? Like there was a time that I didn't have that. And now that we figured out exactly what it takes to make that shift, these next 7 days is going to be all about you. It's going to be all about what are your challenges? What kind of things are you going through that you feel like are holding you back? And even though we don't know each other, obviously it's our first time getting to know each other here. The one thing that I can say, just from the hundreds of people that I've had a chance to train, including with Helen, is that we've noticed no matter what our background is, no matter how old or young we think we are, no matter what situation we're in, the one thing that brings us all together, that we all have in common, is that we have, in the beginning, some form of a fear. And the fear could be, you can call it uncertainty, you can call it doubt, you can call it being pessimistic, you can call it whatever you like. They all tie into that one emotion that we all know as some form of fear. Now, why is that important? It's important because we know that when you look at anybody at a high level, anybody that we respect in terms of like their physical ability, whether we like them or not, if they're achieving something at a high level, we can all agree that's not your everyday kind of person, right? Well, I've always asked, like, why is it that there's some people out there that can do so amazingly well? Why is it that we've got people like Helen who can go out there after 1 year, not even in 1 year, she transforms her body. People don't even recognize her. And before you know it, she's hitting stage after stage after stage, hitting first, second, third place. And a year before that, she had it wasn't even in the radar. I remember the first time I asked her, hey, Helen, have you ever thought about competing? She treated me like I had the plague. It was like, no. Hands go up, face gets all lit up. She's yelling at me, no. And I'm like, okay, there's 20 other people here. You don't need to look like I have rabies, But she was lit. There was no way that she was willing to do that. Yet, 12 months later, she's standing next to women that, you know what? I'm telling the story, but it works so much better if you see some of the photos. So allow me to share some of the photos here, okay? So this was, let's see. Helen, can you see your before photo? I posted it, yeah?
Yeah, you can show them.
If you can see a photo, give me a thumbs up just to make sure.
No, we can't see anything.
Can't see anything yet?
Hold on.
There you go. There we go. Okay, can you see it now? Thumbs up? Okay. All right. So this is Helen roughly a few years before I had met her. Okay. So this isn't the actual Helen that I got a chance to work with. I got to be very, very transparent here. But this was her at some point in her life, a few years back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I give up.
Right. Now, by the time
late 40.
Yeah, exactly, right? So by the time I got a chance to work with her, this was like, she was so embarrassed about her own transformation that she wouldn't even let me take a full body picture of her. This was her after 6 months of training, roughly. And this was the casual time, okay? So for those of you that are unfamiliar with her story, I met her in 2017, very casual training, like once or twice a week. 2018, she decided to build some strength. So I started to see her training about 2 to 3 days a week, right? So this was 2 to 3 days a week and not much in terms of nutrition, not a lot of consistency. And I say that respectfully because we all start somewhere, right? And I'm pointing this out because the moment she made a decision, like in her mind, she's like, that's it. I am transforming. I have to find a way. I'm tired of people telling me that I look old. I'm tired of people telling me I can't do this. I'm sick of it. I have to find a way. When you make the decision that it's time to go, your body will follow. Your results will follow once the mind makes the decision that that's it. And I'm sharing this with you not to just try to impress you, but to remind you and all of us that no matter what you think is not possible for you, just for these next 7 days, I want to make a request kindly. Take all of your beliefs about what you think you can do and just put it on the shelf for a little bit. I'm not saying throw it away. I'm not saying throw out all your disbeliefs. I'm not saying that. I'm saying leave it on the side for now and come here with a mental fresh slate. Kind of like when we're kids and we think anything is possible. Because if you can do that, then you'll allow us the ability to pour into you everything that we've gained over the past 3 years of working with Helen, over the past 10 years in my fitness career, training over 400 people. And these 7 days is going to be like a compact decades worth of knowledge dumped into your mind. So when you leave here after 7 days, you're not just motivated. You're not just like, oh yeah, I'm super excited. Then, it's like this cool transformation I can do, but you actually have real skills that you've armed yourself with an ability to take your body, to take your performance, to take yourself to a totally different level. And whatever that level is for you, that's up to you. There's whatever you want, but at least when you walk out of these 7 days, you will walk out of here, we believe, at least, with the sound belief that whatever it is that you want to accomplish, you can do it. You just need someone to show you how. Now, let me shut that off real quick.
I know it's awkward to see myself. I mean, like before I started the journey, I actually feel awkward seeing other women on stage like that. But then, when I walk on a stage, actually, I never have that mindset anymore. I feel good about myself, and all I was interested was bringing myself to next level, to be better, even better, because you asked me to go on first place.
I gave her a lot of pressure, folks. I said, if you're going to do this, you got to win. And she looked at me like, what? I've never done this before. I'm like, I don't care. You have to find a way to win.
Oh, no pressure. I wanted to have that feeling of being in first place. It wasn't competitive, but I just wanted to see where my body can go and what I can do, right? Right.
Which is essential, because if you're going to try something, the worst feeling in the world, and I've heard this from a couple of people, and I think it might be worth writing down, have it in the back of your mind. The worst feeling in the world is to grow very old, like 80s, 90s, and come close to whenever it is we're going to pass. And come close to that time and look back at our lives and be like, you know what? I wish I took a chance. I wish I did it. Like, how many times have you guys, or you ladies, or you guys that are in here, look back on your lives, look back at some time where there was an opportunity for you to do something, and because of some form of fear, we just said no. And all of a sudden, it's like weeks go by, months go by, and it just starts to haunt us. And you know what? Ever since I had a couple of friends that have now passed give me that life lesson, I've now tried my best to share that with everybody. So when I told Helen, I was like, you know, if you're going to do this, aim for first. In my mind, folks, in my mind, I didn't know if she was going to hit first or not. I never told you that. But I what I wanted to do was I wanted to implant in her mind, if you're going to aim for anything, aim for your best. Because if you fall, if you're aiming for first, but you hit third, that's way better than going in, like some people I know, they'll go into some sort of goal and they'll try to aim for average and then they hit bottom or they hit low.
Yes. I actually wanted to have that feeling. I was second a couple of times, and I wanted to feel what's it like to be number one, to hold that trophy in the middle.
Right. And this conversation's about trophies and stuff. But ladies, let me ask you, how many times have you ever felt like you wanted to be number one in your own life? Where you looked on a magazine, you looked at somewhere, a YouTube channel, an Instagram post, and you thought, wow, those women look amazing. How many times did you ever say to yourself, well, why can't I look amazing? Because in our belief, we believe you deserve that. And I'm not just saying that lightly. Okay, please remember, we've set up this call, and I say this respectfully as a reminder, we've set up this call, we've invested our time, we've made it completely for free. We're pulling back the curtain on everything we know. We're dumping this on you. You couldn't pay us for this 7-day challenge if you tried to send us money. There's no link here for you to send us anything. We really want to give this to you because it's a massive contribution to us when we know we've changed, but that only lasts for so long. The excitement starts to dissipate. And now we're hooked on seeing you, women like you, women that have come into these challenges before you, or even some of you that have come back again. We are hooked on seeing you, men and women, look younger, look stronger, look healthier. Like the amount of posts that are coming in. We're going to get to the how-to in just a second. I just want to show one more, okay? Because it's phenomenal. Like, it's one thing for me to talk about it, but when I can show it, or when we can show it. So this is Irina. Irina, if you're on this call, I hope you are. If she's not, that's okay. She's allowed me to show this before.
Yeah,
Irina is in her mid-40s. And this is her before she started training in what we call the TONED at 50 program. And this is her after. Now, in all fairness, this is a before and after of October, November, December, January, February, March. So about 7 months. But this is 7 months of her working out at home. And her main focus was to transform her glutes. So she said, what happened, she had called us and she said, look, I work out, I do my own thing, but there's certain parts of my body that I want to improve on. And I had asked, well, what is that? And she said, for me in particular, it's my glutes, it's my butt. She just didn't like the way it was. And look, let's face it, everybody has a thing, right? Like, as you watch this right now, ask yourself, is there a part of your body that you know you're happy with? You know it's you, but deep down, there's a part of you that says, I would like it to be better, right? And there's no wrong to that. It's your body. You choose to do whatever you want with it. In her case, it happened to be her glutes. She said, my glutes, I am just unhappy with. Now, if you look at the before and after, this is the same woman. It's the same person. It's from October till April, so it was not overnight. This is the result, however. This is the phenomenal part, okay? And this is a perfect example, aside from Helen's, of what's possible when the mind shift changes from I think I will to I must, which is what this call is all about today. When she made this change, she did it on 3 days a week at 30 minutes a day. 3 days. Oh, I can see some of the faces lighting up right now. Yes, that's right. That's right. And that's exactly what we said too. We're like, oh my goodness, this is phenomenal, right? Like, the first thing that people usually say when they see this photo is they say either it's photoshopped or she must have spent hours in the gym. It must have been grueling. She must have had to lift all sorts of weights. Ladies, let me tell you right up front, this is on 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week, okay? The home gym equipment that she had was a chair with some resistance bands from Amazon that you can pick up for like 15, 20 bucks, and her couch. And I'm saying that and I'm laughing because it breaks the stigma of what people believe is possible. And so I'm sharing that with you because I want to ask you, if you know that people can work out at home, if you know that they can build the determination and learn how to generate enough energy to make this result happen for them, what do you think is possible for you? What do you think is possible for you? And do you think that as much as you do know at this point, which everybody has some knowledge, that's why we're all here, do you think it's possible that from these next 7 days, you can gain something more, learn something more, apply something just a little bit more to give you the results that you know that you're after? And that's really important to focus on as we go through these next 7 days, okay? Helen, did you want to add to some of this before we switched over to the exercise?
Oh, well, I mean, I was just want to add, what happened when I had my success. My children become interested in my workout in the past. I mean, they didn't care about my stuff. And when I became first place, my son and daughter asked me to go to the gym with them. That was amazing. So the difference and the impact I have, not just for myself, but for my children as well.
Right. You said that they started working out, or they started taking your advice at the gym, which they'd never done before, right?
Yes. So everybody is very conscious about what they eat, about exercise. Basically, you don't have to really push them. You inspire them by doing something yourself. And also at the same time, your mommy at age 50, look at what mommy can do. So telling them that to fight for what you believe in.
Right. Because anything's possible when you know how to do it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And ladies, that's exactly what we're going to do with you today. What we're going to do is I'm going to run you through an exercise that I did with Helen way back. And the purpose of this exercise is to help you do something that everybody expects out of us, but not everybody knows how to help us do. And the thing I'm referring to is being able to break through the limitations, the things that we believe that limit us. In other words, how many times have we or have you looked at something you wanted to go after, some sort of goal? Could be fitness, could be something else. And you said to yourself, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to go for it. And then all of a sudden these struggles get in the way. Life gets in the way. And sometimes we pursue it still. And sometimes we end up holding ourselves back. And then we say to ourselves, I'll do it later, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it in a week. And then before we know it, months and years go by and we're like, oh my God, that goal that I went after just didn't happen, right? Now, if you've gone through that, I want to tell you, it's not your fault. We all go through that. It's just part of life. However, we've learned that it's not something that we have to live with if we choose that we don't want to live with it anymore. I want to run you guys through a quick exercise so that way you understand exactly how this applies to you and how you can use it towards your fitness. Because I swear, when you make the goal, it's one thing. But the question is not just how to make the goal, but how to attack and how to overcome those day-to-day obstacles that happen to us. Whether you feel tired or you feel exhausted or you get too busy. When the need rises, all the other reasons go away. The problems still stay there, but they're not this kind of problem anymore. They become these kind of problems because the level of importance in the subconscious, in the back of the brain, when that becomes so big, nothing can stop you. And that's exactly what happened with Helen when she made that decision. When I ran through this mental exercise and she was like, okay, that's it. It was nothing got in her way. There was times we had to meet at 6 a.m. for her to train. 6 a.m, who the hell does that? Right? But she made it happen. There was times where she had to go and sleep only 3 hours and then get up on stage and win a show. Exhausted and tired, not eating for 12 hours because they have to dehydrate their body to show off their extra lean muscle. She still made it happen. But we account a lot of her determination to this particular exercise. So I want to walk you guys through it, okay? Now, before we start this exercise, on being able to raise the level of determination to help you become unstoppable. Before we do this, I want to ask, check around you and please make sure there's nothing you're going to hit. If you're driving, don't do this now. And please make sure that you're in a spot where you're safe for it, because I need you to close your eyes for a second, okay? Just for like a few seconds. Now, this exercise is a focus drill. And the focus drill, really what it teaches us is that what we focus on is what we get. And the challenge with that is that if we've always seen our bodies in a particular way, then it doesn't matter if we want to get more. If our brain see our body to be this particular way, then that's it. Okay, now here's the example. In a second, I'm going to ask you to look around and you'll have 5 seconds, okay? Please do this with me because you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And it might feel funny, it might feel awkward, but just try it. Just give yourself this opportunity to learn this. In 1 second, I'm going to ask you to look everywhere in your room. Everywhere in your room that is brown. Ready, set, go. Look around. 5 seconds. Look around. Brown. Everything is brown. Brown, brown. So look at it. Mentally depict it. 4, 3, brown. Remember everything. 2, 1, time. Now close your eyes. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes. And in 5 seconds, I want you to tell me everything that's in your room that is blue. Oh. All right. Open your eyes for a second. Now, some of you guys are smiling. Some of you guys look confused. Now, I want to tell you, when you focused on brown, what happened to everything else? Was it easier to remember or was it more difficult? Now, look around in your room and notice everything that's blue. Look. Now, look at the ceiling. Look at the floor. Look at your clothes. Look at the stuff that's on your shelf. And ask yourself, now that you're paying attention to blue, are you noticing more blue now than just a minute ago? Most of you probably say, yeah. Now, as simple as an exercise as that is, that relates to our bodies. That relates to our ability to transform. And how it relates is that there's this thing in our brain called the R.A.S, Reticular Activating System. It's something that's born into every human being, and it's part of what helps us focus. Okay? A lot of psychologists call us deletion creatures. Deletion meaning that there's so much going on in life that our brains will only pick certain things that we deem to be important, and it'll bring it into our attention without us even trying. It's a very subconscious programmed part of our brain. It's why when you look at a certain dress and you like the dress, or you look at a certain piece of jewelry and you like the jewelry, or a car, maybe you don't have it yet, but because you like it so much, have you noticed that as you go about your day in your life, you start to notice that car more? Or you start to notice that dress that you want to get one day more. You see another woman wearing it and you're like, hey, she's wearing that dress that I love so much. Well, why is it that we notice it more when we really like it? It's because the R.A.S is activated. And the challenge with going after a transformation in our body is if we don't use the R.A.S method, what happens is that it becomes something that's very motivational, like emotional, where it's like, yeah, okay, I want this thing. But ladies, I mean, come on, we all know. How often do you get motivated about something and then after a few days, the motivation goes away, right? Motivation, now don't take me wrong. Helen and I both know that motivation is key. We need that. It's like an ignition for the car. You need something to jumpstart that engine. But the ignition isn't what's supposed to carry us through the journey. It's just supposed to get us started. So if the ignition is out, what do we have to carry us through those other times when we want to change, when we want to tighten our abs, when we want to tighten our glutes, when we want to make certain parts of our body more firm, or if we want to just have more energy? Well, that's where the R.A.S kicks in. And this is how you're going to use it starting today, okay? I'm going to strongly suggest that you have something to write with. If you do, great, or if you can make a notepad on your phone, however it is you want. But please have something to note this down, because you're going to use this from today throughout the 7 days, and it's going to be part of your daily routine. So eventually, this is something you don't have to think about. It's just something that just starts to happen in your life, which helps project your results incrementally, which if it becomes part of your life and it just starts happening naturally, all of a sudden, like Helen, your results just start to happen. And you still got to put in the effort, of course, but it's just something that it's like part of your life versus something that you have to do. Okay. Here's how we're going to use the R.A.S. Number one, before the end of today, I need to ask all of you to find, unless you know this already, find an image of the ideal body that you want. Go online, grab a magazine, doesn't matter where you get it, but find an ideal image. Now, here's the kicker. It doesn't matter right now if you don't believe you can have it. It doesn't matter. Helen did not believe in 2018 she could get into a bikini at 50 years old, rock a stage against 20 to 30-year-old women, stand next to them and have the judges go, wait, is she in the right category? She's supposed to be in the 50s, right? Why is she hanging out with the 25-year-olds? Like, to actually have them do that. If you had asked her in 2018, she would have told you, you are out of your damn mind. You're out of your mind. She looked at me like, you're crazy. I'm like, I know, but I think it's possible.
I stopped buying bikini 2 years ago.
So we're stating that because your belief today is based on all of your past experiences. But what if your current experiences become better and better and better and better? What if you're trying to go after that 4-pack or that lean set of abs and you never had it before? Well, does it mean you can't have it tomorrow? Hell no. You can't have it tomorrow, but you can start the process in ways you've never had before. So going back to the first decision, find that photo. Doesn't matter if you believe it. If you have an emotional attachment to it, if it charges you a little, that's all that matters. Okay. Get that photo. Number two, I need you to place it in the 3 most common areas of your life. So for Helen, she had, when she first did the transformation, she had it on her phone. She had it on her computer. She had it in the back of her binder. She had it in all sorts of places that I don't even know right now where else she had it everywhere, right? She had a lot of photos. Now, what that does is, the reason why this is important is because your R.A.S. attaches itself to what it visually sees consistently. So if you have to think about it all the time, that becomes that's tiresome, right? Like, you don't want to be in a position where you have to think about this gorgeous body. You have to think, no, you just want to see it. And throughout your day, your R.A.S. will start to pick up, okay, this is something that's important to me. And then as it becomes more important, it'll start to notice little things in your life that you can use, that you can do, that you can utilize to bring that result to you much faster. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a piece of diamond, like 2-carat diamond.
Diamond. You know
every woman's best friend, but now it's the glute, my best friend.
Diamonds. It's all about
no more diamond. I don't want diamond. I want the nice glute.
Butts. Yeah, she wants to have butts. And number two, after you've gotten that down, this one is going to be a little bit more personal. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple extra minutes on this one because this is one that you get to do by yourself. And I got to tell you, ladies, the first time that we've ever done this, it was one of those exercises where you don't have to share it with anybody. And sometimes it even feels foolish to do. But I promise you, I swear by my life, that if I did not do this, I wouldn't have had my transformation. If Helen didn't do this, she would not have had hers. And I know very few people that can accomplish that next level of results without doing this. And the reason why that's so important is because we all get attached to something. We get attached to having more in our life and in our bodies, or we get attached to having less, like settling. Let me ask you something. If you're still on this call right now, listening to us, either live or recorded, we believe that you're not just that type of person to settle. If you were that type of person to settle, then you would not be here investing your time, your effort, and your focus on learning what we've got to share with you. So we believe, we know that you're the type of person that wants more, and you need the tool to have it. The tool that I'm referring to is what we call the breakdown of your 7 whys. The breakdown of your 7 whys. Now, what is that? All that means is that when you're alone by yourself, no interruptions, either on a sheet of paper or type it out. You want to make a list to yourself, emotional reasons, a minimum of 7, of why you want to make this transformation happen. And that transformation could be anything from my whole body, I want to just drop 5, 10, 15 pounds, to my body looks good, but my abs are, they could be better and I want to tighten that up, to I just don't have enough energy and I want more energy so I can enjoy my life, I can enjoy my family, I can enjoy my grandkids and not feel burned out at the end of the day and still have energy to work and do what I got to do. Whatever your goal is for you, this exercise brings you to that next level because it breaks the old beliefs and it makes you challenge the old beliefs that used to work for you, but maybe now might be limiting you to get to that next stage in your results. And the way it works is that you first just simply ask yourself, okay, what do I want? Like, why am I on this call? And what you want to do is you want to write down just a short, simple sentence, one that really hits you, one that hits home for you. And I don't know what that is. Only you would know the answer to that. Once you've written that statement or that question, however you write it, below that, you ask yourself, why is this important to me? Or why does that matter to me? Now, usually what happens is a part of our brains can sometimes make us feel bad or wrong. Because sometimes we might write answers like, oh, because I want to look hot, or I want to look sexy, or I want my husband or my significant other to look at me in a certain way. Or, some women have said, when I walk down the street, I want men to look at, like, I want to be a head turner. No matter what you write, I want to ask you kindly, don't make yourself wrong. Don't. Why? Because this is for you and it's only for you. And the world doesn't need to know what the heck it is. Okay, if you want to turn heads, turn heads. If you want your husband to look at you top and bottom, fine, do it. If you want guys to walk down the street and accidentally smack their face on the pole because they were looking at you and not where they were walking, whatever, it doesn't matter. As funny as that might sound, it's the more real you can be with yourself, the more you can break through some of these disbeliefs that might have been holding you back for so long. And today's call is all about breaking through your own disbeliefs. Because until that happens, everything that we're sharing with you will just sound nice. It'll sound fluffy. It'll sound like, oh yeah, this is great. Great information, but we're not here for great information. We want to see you have fantastic results. And this is the first stage of doing it. So write out the first sentence. What do I really want? Below that, why do I want that? And give it a clear answer. Once you've done that, do it again. Well, why do I want that? And give yourself a clear answer. And below that, why do I want that? Now, some people will keep writing that question, why do I want that? 7 times. That's the average. But some people will get as deep as 20 or 30 whys. You want to keep going. Your goal is to keep writing your whys until you get to this point where emotionally you write yourself an answer where when you look at it and you read it, you can't help but just pause for a second and look at it, because it might hit you so hard that it might make you realize, oh my God, this is the one thing that might have been holding me back for so long. And I didn't even know until this very moment in time where I'm staring at my emotional why in the face. I mean, me and Helen have just done this several times, but we just did it, 2 days ago, right? For you, didn't we? Right. And it took, for Helen this time around, it took 20, was it 20 times? Helen? Oh, she's reading the comments. Give or take, it took her about 20 times. And that's important to know, folks, because no matter what you do, unless this first stage gets handled, like I keep honing on this, but oh my God, here, I gotta show you guys this. The first time I did this, I was the fat party guy. Okay. I was the guy that was like, yeah, let's go out, let's have fun. So that was me on the left. And this is me after 2 months of already working out. So I was actually a lot fatter than what you see on the left. And I was stuck. I got to tell you, ladies, I was stuck in that. Here's a more clear depiction. Can you guys see that? Helen, is my photo up? Can you
The
see my
photo's
photo?
up, but how come I'm always in the speaker view?
Sorry. Let me remove that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Can you guys just give me a thumbs up if you can see my photo? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So the left side of me was me telling myself, it's so embarrassing to even show that, but I look like a giant pancake. But you know what? That was literally me for 3-4 years. And the crazy part was I was working out. I was hitting the gym for about 2 hours a day. And I thought at the time, I am doing everything that I can. So why the heck do I still look like a walking potato? Like why? I was mad at myself. When I made that switch, when I did this exercise, I realized that the one thing that was holding me back was that I wanted to do better, but I didn't believe and I didn't see who I wanted to be. And I believe that this was just that's it. Like this, who I am is who I am. Like this is the best that I got. But once I broke through that belief and I realized, okay, I am lying to myself. Like, allow me to swear for a second, but I told myself, like, I'm bullshitting myself. This is an utter BS story. Like, why am I lying to myself? Once I had that on paper, there was nothing stopping me from going after my goal. And what you see on the right is literally 9.5 months. It took me 9.5 months to shed off nearly 40 pounds of body fat. I was 250 pounds at 33% body fat on the left. Okay, by the time I was over here on the right, I was 180 pounds at 14% body fat. My workouts were only about an hour a day. That's pretty standard, right? Some people do 45 minutes, some people an hour and a half. My average was an hour a day. So I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't doing like these over the top things, but I knew what I wanted. The fears that used to stop me were gone. And the moment those fears would show up, my need and my drive to make change was so strong. It was so like there's just nothing getting in my way that it didn't matter what happened. If I was tired, I'd still do it. If I was hungry and I usually go for the cheat meal, my brain would kick in and be like, that's the old you. A new identity came out of me that I never experienced before. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is to ask you, have you ever had a newer identity about yourself? Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, okay, this is who I am today, but who can I really believe myself to be? If anything was really possible for me, who can I really become? And it's not about value or like who we are as people. Like we're valuable as people. End of story. We're people. Right? Everyone has a value to themselves. But this is about you having control over the way you look and the way you feel. And the first key to making that switch, whether it's to lose a few pounds or to get six-pack abs or to tighten the glutes or to get rid of the cellulite in the back of the legs or in the back of the arms, whatever it is to build the clarity, pure clarity of who you are becoming, no matter what's happened in your past, who you are becoming and what you're willing to do or to put forward in order to make that happen.
Yes, Alan. I was obsessed.
Share your obsession. Share it.
Well, I was obsessed with becoming like an athlete. And then you said, oh, you have to eat like an athlete. You have to sleep like an athlete. You have to walk like an athlete. You have to dress up like an athlete.
Oh, that was for stage. That was for stage. Ladies, that won't apply to you because unless you want to get into a two-piece bikini and jump on stage with Helen, then you don't have to be that extreme. But for you, that was because you wanted that goal, right? And that's a good point because a year ago, she would never have said that. And that's just a perfect testimony of what happens of when you know who you are and who you want to become and what you believe, when your belief of what you're capable of goes up before you even get it, R.A.S kicks in and then all of a sudden all of your actions go right towards that end goal. And even if you deviate a little bit, go left and right, you lose the mark a little, it puts you right back towards your target. You become like a heat-seeking missile launcher mentally. Nothing gets in your way. Might sound a little extreme, but you know what? Let's look at the counter opposite. The counter opposite of that is that we look at our bodies and we go, well, I wish I could have. Or I wish I had that. And believe it or not, that's an R.A.S. kicking into disbelief. Like the R.A.S. is working 24/7, whether we use it or not. The question is, are we using it in a way that benefits us or that just throws us to wherever we're going to go? Right?
Yes.
Right. So I know that we fed you a lot today, ladies and gents. Helen, did you want to add to that before we give them the...
Time is tight. I'm sure many ladies who have took the time here, maybe perhaps we can go over the homework that, we already did. We did.
Oh, no, not yet. No, we didn't yet. We will now. So real quick, ladies, part of why we're here is not only to share this with you, but we know that daily action, small incremental daily action is what propels people to move to that next step. The reason why we're here is because me and Helen were on a call with our coach not too long ago. And we had noticed that these small little 5-10 minute actions that he got us to do, we thought we were just doing homework exercises, but after a week, we're like, holy cow, skills went up, results went up, everything went up. And we're like, how is that possible? And Dean, one of our coaches, said, it's not what you do, Alan. It's the small things that you do consistently. Don't think of big goals as like these, day-long things you got to do. No. Success happens in minutes if you know what to do and what to look for. And I thought, oh my God, this guy's incredible. That gift that he's given to us, we now want to pass that on to you and to incentivize you. This is the fun part. We're going to give you an exercise. You don't have to do it. If you do it in your head, great. If you choose to take it full on, even better. Then we know it's absorbed into the back of your mind. To incentivize you, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask you to do the exercise. Once you do, we're going to ask you to post it. I'll show you the details in a second. And everybody that does the exercise today, on tomorrow's call, we're going to select a winner. Ooh, we like winners. And the winner is going to have either a $50 Amazon gift card that you can use for whatever you want. It's all up to you. Or you can trade the Amazon gift card and you can get a 30-minute one-to-one coaching call with Helen and myself. We usually charge $99 per coaching call for that block period of time, but we're going to give it away for free. And then you can dig into our brains, ask us whatever it is that you want. Like you can get that exclusive time just for you. If you want just an exclusive plan that works for you, great. If you want a mindset program that works for you, great. It's your call. But we want to give that to you because we believe that the more action that you take, the more results you're going to have. So whatever we can do to incentivize you to take on those actions, we're all for it. So here's the homework for today. All you got to do is, it's simple. Okay. Number one, we're going to ask you to select your your one photo. You can have one or more, but a minimum of one photo that really resonates with you, that makes you feel emotionally charged, where you look at that body and you're like, I want to be at least something like this woman. I don't know if I can or not, but if I could, oh my God, that would be like a dream come true. And then we want you to pick three places that you're going to put it. Okay. The second part is your 7 whys. The 7 whys is more for you, and it's very personal, so we won't ask that. We won't ask you to share that. That's just for you. Okay, but please complete the 7 whys. Now, in terms of the photo, we're going to ask you to jump into our group. There's a little button in there that says live. You're going to click that little live button. And all we want you to do is we just want you to introduce yourself. Just say hi and just say, this is the photo I want, and these are the 3 places that I posted it. Like for me, when I first did this, I picked this guy. I don't even know who he was, but I was just like, oh my God, I must look like this man. I don't want to look like a potato anymore. No more potato. I must look like this man. And I had posted it in my bedroom, on my phone, on my computer. I had one in a couple of my notebooks. Like, I couldn't walk anywhere in my house without seeing this guy's photo. And it's what helped propel me, because I was very clear on what I wanted and not what I didn't want. It's why I made a 9-month transformation when a lot of my friends were trying to do the same thing. They took 2-3 years, but they were working out harder than me. I was in the gym an hour. These guys were in there like 3 hours. And they're looking at me like, Allan, what the hell did you do? Like, why did you get such fast results? Like Helen. Helen's results was in 1 year. Most women that I still train to this day, they take 2 to 3 years to get 75% of what Helen's got. But what made us different is that we were very clear on what we wanted. There was no, like, if I close my eyes, I can still remember to this day what that man, or in your case, Helen, what that woman looked like.
Yes.
And that just switched everything. All of our actions just started to go in a different direction. So we're going to ask you to share that. And when you share it on a video, okay, it's a little bit of uncomfortable action, because remember, anything that we want is always a little bit outside our comfort zone. And if we stay only in our comfort zone, then we only keep getting what it is we've always had. Mm-hmm. The good thing about our group is that it's safe. Nobody's here to judge. Nobody's here to point fingers. Forget that. We're all here to support each other. That's why we built this group, because we want a safe environment where we can all learn, where we can help each other, where we can actually figure out, okay, this is not working for me. I need something that works. Help. And instead of getting, fingers pointed, we're actually there to support each other. And you're going to experience that over these next 7 days. So video, photo, and the 3 places that you're going to post it. We need you to hashtag it so we can find it. So under your video, you're just going to put hashtag TONED50, TA50 specifically, TA50 day 1. And that's the number 1. TA50 day 1. Okay. And then by 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to check out all those videos. And whoever posted, we're going to select a winner and announce it on tomorrow's call. All right?
Ellen, would this week's challenge, would it conflict with last week when you put?
No, it's a different hashtag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, we'll make sure.
Okay, there's a message from Taylor. How can we post our photo in 3 places? Some of you ladies might have young kids. If you
use discretion, of course. Like, if it's a bikini, every household is different. Like, if you have a bikini photo up there and it's a little more relaxed, then okay, great. If it's something that you don't want the kids to see, then have it like in your notebook, in your phone, in your computer where it's not shared. That's a good question. I like that.
Yeah, something you have it for yourself secretly.
As long as you can see it, yes. Somebody else had said, print it from the printer, I guess. Yeah, that's correct. Absolutely. When we first started, I actually went and printed mine off my printer, and it was just that simple. It doesn't have to be a perfect photo. It just has to be something where you can consistently see it, right? It's the 7, why not the 7 whys?
Thank you, ladies, for helping everyone else in this group.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Good. Do we cover all the questions in here? Folks, if you do have any questions, feel free to use that text chat that's on the right-hand side. Okay, thank you. Just want to read it. Okay, good. It looks like we got everything down pat. So, there we go. One more. Tomorrow, we are going to make sure that we announce the winner. So please make sure you show up on tomorrow's call, okay? But with that said, we want to thank you so much for being here. We value you. We believe in you. And that's not that, we don't say that lightly. We believe in you because we know what's possible. And for the fact that you stayed here throughout the entire hour, it tells us that you're not just the average. You're someone who is special. You're special because you have more belief in yourself than maybe what a lot of other people do. And now you just need the tools to go get your results. And today is the first day to go get it. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for your time again. Helen, thank you for being here.
No, thank you, Ellen, so much. And thank you, ladies. And I will see you tomorrow.
We'll see you all on tomorrow's call. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.